Good morning, everyone. It is Monday, December 6th, and this is Morning Market Movers, where we do live analysis for day trading and we take a look at potential hot sparkets in the markets for today. Ooh, I got an echo in here. So, my name is Todd Rich. I'm with Nadex. With me from Keep Trading Simple is Brian Caprice. Before Brian and I jump into it, I do need to share this disclaimer that trading involves risk and may not be appropriate for everyone, that any trading decisions you make are solely your responsibility and at your own risk. And this is an educational session. Please do not construe anything Brian or I say as a buy or sell recommendation. We are doing this for your educational purposes. Now, what do we got going on this morning? We do have some things going on this morning. Interestingly enough, Brian and I were actually speaking about this on Friday, and that we are still waiting to see what the severity of the Omicron variant was.
Yes, we
I
have
mean,
we have a confirmed listener. Confirmed listener, because we were talking about it all last week.
and and interestingly enough, over the weekend, in fact, it was yesterday, the news is coming out that the initial data is encouraging, that the severity of the Omicron variant may not be as bad as it was initially feared.
Tell
Now,
him who said it, Todd. Tell him who said it. Confirmed
people,
listener.
so yeah, we were saying, this, we got to wait and see. Now, the initial data is coming in. More data is needed. I get it. More data is needed, and of course, but there was a very severe reaction. Now, what are we seeing in the markets? One, uh, this is Friday's sell-off in oil. Oh my gosh, demand's going to go down. Oh my gosh, demand's going to go down. What are we going to do? Well, oil gapped higher on the open. Has been trading up today because maybe demand isn't going to go down because it won't be as severe. We'll see how long some of these travel bans remain in place as they continue to get additional data. What else are we seeing? It's in the indices, right? We knew what we saw. The Dow got decimated. Technology stocks, people rolled back into technology stocks. Now, technology stocks aren't selling off, but what we are seeing is the Dow opening higher. Oh, you know what? I had a little chart on here that got erased. Okay, give me 1 second here. From the past week, recent highs to recent lows, we can see Dow's trying to climb back to that 50% retracement, the 50% fib retracement level. So we'll take a look, but the Dow is opening higher, and it is. I think it's getting close to up about. It's getting near 1%, and we'll see what. Actually, no. It's 0.6%. Dow's up a couple hundred. Nasdaq is down slightly, but people are rotating out of technology back into some of these Dow stocks just as they get their head around. All right, maybe there was a little bit of an overreaction when people heard about the Omicron variant. So, with that, Brian, I'm going to flip it over to you, and let's take a look at some interesting levels in oil and how we could play oil, and
Yep.
then the other would be, uh, these equities, the Dow and the Nasdaq in particular, because that's what we're just seeing, that rotation between those
Yeah.
two.
Yeah. I mean, right now, in the overnight today, we know we really don't have. I mean, the biggest mover right now is the pound yen. I hope that you guys watched last week. We talked about pound strength coming in, about a euro pound short, and then the pound going long based off of comments we expected to hear today. That's exactly what happened. Pound dollar is up 48. Pound euro pound is down 32 or 23, and then pound yen is up 106. That was the big mover in the currency market. There's not really any news releases today except later tonight at 10:30 p.m. We have the Australian cash rate. Will be very interesting. We talked last week about how New Zealand's obviously already done it once. We had another country that it's done it a few times. It's the end of the year. Everybody's talking about when we're going to raise interest rates. Bullard last week was basically saying, "Listen, it's time to move it. We need to pull it now. We need to do it faster than." And he was just pretending Omicron didn't even exist at all. And now we're hearing that it may not be a big deal. So again, that guy, he's right again. If this turns out really to be nothing, like, man, this guy's on. I'm telling you, he needs to take over. But Australia, again, big country. they're and it's not so much the cash rate. Their cash rate is basically what our interest rates are, and not expected to change tonight. But the statement, if they mention that they're going to be raising next time, it's like it's like a change. It could be a very, very big mover tonight, particularly at 10:30. Um, Obviously, the weekend news, Todd's kind of gone through it. The most important thing, I mean, again, starting with the indices, and then we'll end with the energies because they're the really kind of the bigger movers right now. But the VIX is down, right? We're down 3.2%. You can see that, again, we had that big spike up, and then at the end of last week, it kind of petered out. We gap lower, kind of pulled back up and kind of filled that gap area, right? We filled the gap area, and now we're starting to kind of trend down. And really, none of the news we've heard has been anything too crazy, right? So it's not like we're going to the opening and they're saying that Omicron is going to wipe out, do the Thanos snap and wipe out half the population. So, that's kind of how they were playing it. That's a really, really good sign. The Thanos snap, right?
Wow.
Thanos. I mean, Thanos,
an Avenger.
Omicron, right? They're kind of in the same group, right? I mean,
with you on that.
it's whether Transformers or Marvel. I mean, I don't know. I mean, it's Greek letters, but we're not hearing that this morning. So we are into kind of the thick of things, and again, not having any bad news on that one, it tends to be great for the overall indices. And again, we ended last week, wasn't the greatest, right? But, ES is up 0.35, YM is up, all of them are, they're at important levels. Right now, last week we talked about 4,600 and 4,500 were going to be two big areas. If you look back, we were sitting right here at 9 o'clock on Friday. We went right off to 4,600, the psychological number, drove all the way down, and you can see at 3 o'clock in the afternoon, we banged off 4,500, and then came back up and rallied, and we're sitting right at that 4,550. So we're kind of right in the kind of the middle ground. I would say holding the top and bottom, those psychological levels, will probably be key right now. Again, there is the gap area that got filled at about 5:30. Remember, how 10:30 is the U.S. reversal time, 5:30 tends to be the European reversal time. And that's exactly what it did. The Europeans drove it straight down into that gap, filled it from Friday, and we took off. So again, positive sign. Right now we have a little bit of selling sitting right here. But besides that, again, European session, not huge, right around that 45.70. We're clear sailing back up to 4,600. And really any lack of any other news today, not really a reason why it shouldn't continue to push higher. NQ, again, NQ has been bouncing around levels as well. I'll make this a little bit bigger. We talked about levels down at 15,600. It did. It dropped all the way down and then had a very, very big problem trying to get through. And did the same thing. Kind of gapped up, kind of hit, dropped down again, and then used that same level, that psychological level at 15,600, and is rallying up again. So we know that 15,800 is going to be an issue, but if it can clear that, we probably clear up to 16,000. And again, there's different reasons why this is having problems. You can see that, Apple, it didn't have the best Friday, but you can see right now in the overnight it's already gapped higher, so it's going to be opening at a nice little nice little chunk here. That will help the NQ, and then Tesla continuing to drop. I can't say that I'm happy about this one. It's back down to 995. I was calling that I wanted Tesla 500 at Christmas. We're going there. We're close, right? I mean, if you think about it,
I thought you wanted the Tesla 500 model.
No, I went Tesla 500, right? Because we were at 1,200 and we're already down to, we've dropped 200 in 2 weeks. Ouch. If we stay at that rate, we're going to be really, really close, Like I said, everybody knows my reasons for that one. I feel that the, inside traders are the worst thing for the markets. And I felt like there was a lot of insider trading with Tesla. Not that I have anything against them. I actually do think it's an absolutely great company. I do think they are a driving force into the future. I feel like they're kind of what Apple was 10, 15 years ago, in my eyes. But again, both those, again, this one is a little bit opening a little bit lower, but Apple, obviously extremely important. Holiday seasons are big. We know what happened last week, and we're seeing that it's open. So again, NQ is probably going to roll and continue to push higher. Looking at the YM, it's up 0.65. Again, we kind of drew tops and bottoms on it. It kind of did a little bit, but again, inside of that bigger range when we go top and bottom, this would have held up a little bit better. Its gap was here on Friday, but again, really didn't do much. Came up, came down at 530, was a reversal and pushed it back higher. So I would say 35,000 is probably on the radar today, is what's possible to hit. And again, really no news out there. We'll kind of see what some of the most recent headlines are.
And that Russell, is, what's interesting is that level would be that 50% here. Let me flip it over. From recent highs to lows, that 50% retracement level is right there, just shy of that the 35,000. And we know that this level's actually been one that's been some resistance
Yeah.
each time that it's tried to rally back. Seeing it,
Yeah.
at least push back up there and test it again would not be a
Yeah.
surprise.
Yeah. I mean, 35,000, 16,000, 5,000. Those are all going to be your biggest ones. Right.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
one thing I will say in Russell right now, Russell did have a little level, and we talked about this drop last week. It was kind of like one of those hidden levels. 4 o'clock, it made an attempt up there and then rolled back down. And again, 5:30 was the reversal off the gap. But it is an area where I would say kind of watch it. If we kind of have this opening rally and we start to push higher, right around 10:30, where we tend to see reversals, if it's right around that 2191, I think that'll be the first one to kind of take a chink in its armor and drop. NQ will probably be lower because obviously it's a bit weaker, but this is the high flyer right now. I wouldn't be surprised if, again, 2191 and then 2212 are both areas where we could have potential reversals in the Russell. I'm going to shift gears and go across to energies.
Yeah, I think that's where we want to wrap up. Certainly with oil.
Yeah.
Punching higher on the open.
Yeah, I mean, we were sitting on the third right here last week, and we said, hey, listen, these are some sellers here. Don't be surprised if this takes a little bit of a drop. I actually expected it to drop down into the 76.40-ish range, probably here. It ended up taking a much bigger drop than I thought, but it went to levels that we had marked off in the past that we were looking for. And again, you can see clearly right here, right? Clearly right there, you can see that those buyers stepped in before. They did the same exact thing over the weekend. And then really what happened? Nothing. Fauci talked. Russia did not invade yet. So again, yet. Now it's supposed to be 2022 is what they're saying.
Apparently there's a phone call happening tomorrow. So
yeah, well, there's a Zoom call. They talked about a Zoom call. I'll show it in a second. But we are approaching a level up top a little bit higher. So again, it is quite a rally back again from everything we heard on Friday. It's only going to take kind of one little hiccup here and there. But I will say, with forecasts of snow this week, that will also kind of hurt it as well. If any place gets snow where they have to shut down for a little bit, that does tend to hurt demand a little bit, or even transportation. So it does play a little bit into it. But this week, I'm very interested to see now that, again, Omicron is not the Thanos snap. We'll see if this is going to roll it and kind of we find that stabilization. OPEC Plus, it was basically like we're not producing anymore. So don't even ask. So at this point, we are purely up to, it's going to be back to supply and demand again. We know we're not getting any more assistance. We'll see if the inflation continues to rise on it. And again, the more it rises, the more problem it's going to be basically for the administration. So we'll kind of see where it ends up. But I would say the level sitting right here is kind of one area where, 68, 89, watch it. Last time price was there, I had quite a big drop to the downside. Natural gas down 10% today, well, 9.2.
There's a reason for that.
It's because I got gas on Friday, guys. I just want to let you guys know. I'm like, you know what? I mean, it's over here. And I'm like, we're like $4. It's probably going to have some issues. Big psychological number. Again, I bought gas on Friday, and then
you're
it got
the
10% down
contraindicator.
So obviously, whoever was manipulating the natural gas market is also a viewer of the show. But I just want to say, I don't remember what the gentleman's name was. I'm sure he's a very, very nice gentleman, but he was like, you're going to buy it at $6.50. I didn't buy it at $6.50. I bought it when it was below $4. And actually for natural gas, it's funny. Natural gas, I paid $2.70. So actually propane, but I paid $2.70 versus the $3.76 is what I paid. So yeah, but I didn't get it at $6.50. That's the important thing. Anyway, with a drop of 10% to the downside, and actually it's 9% now, I actually wouldn't be surprised if we do find some buyers down here to kick it up a little bit. Reason why is because I know in Maryland, we have a 50% chance of getting a decent snow shower on Wednesday. We don't ever get snow in December. It's very, very rare. It only lasts maybe 12 hours, 24 hours. But whenever you do see snow coming in, people are like, whoa, we need to make sure we have it. So yeah, it was definitely artificially inflated to the top side. It is pulling back to where it actually should be. But now we're going to start seeing the seasonal bumps to it. Just like when there's an August hurricane in the Gulf, oil will spike. Whenever there's a snowstorm, you typically will see natural gas move as well. So if you guys are unaccustomed to natural gas, a 10% move is a big move. These happen a lot in the natural gas arena. Extremely volatile. And being early in the week, this could be a good opportunity to step into some of those longer duration contracts that Nadex offers. But, again, I think
take a look at those knockouts, right? Yeah,
this is more of a drop than what I thought. And again, whenever you see a 10% move, Ty just brought up a great point. When you see a 10% move, you got to go to knockout realm. You can't go to call spread move because unfortunately the call spreads don't move. They just stay there. The knockouts are the ones when they get broken, new ones print. So it's more in close proximity to current price. Call spreads weren't designed for prices to move 10% because that's well outside of the bell curve. So
Yeah.
not much you can do about that one, but that's just understanding your products and understanding the benefits. Again, binaries are the same thing. Um, but that's about it, guys, for today. Like I said, watch these indices, watch your reversal time, watch your headlines. Look for a little bit of a reversal in natural gas today. Gold, silver doing absolutely nothing.
Nothing.
The Bitcoin people are ostracizing up right now. I saw 2 articles this weekend about the big drop on Friday and how hopes of 100,000 are in jeopardy now. It's like, yeah, all those people should be taken off the air. They're just
Now,
it's going 100,000,
the
and
extreme nature of it. I mean,
yeah,
people. It's the equivalent of someone saying the market's going to crash and it's going to go back down to 300. The Dow's going to 300. Like, the Dow's
yeah,
not going to
yeah.
$300.
Yeah.
Um,
I mean, just look where we are right now, too, with the whole Wall Street bets. I don't want to take too much time. It's 9:01. But all the Wall Street bets, everything that was taken down Wall Street, everything is red today. Bitcoin, Ethereum, AMC down
yeah,
4%, GME down 5%, Dogecoin down 3.7%. But you know what's up? TLT. And if you guys don't know what TLT is, it's bonds.
those
So
bonds.
remember we talked about how they're going to be rolling money out of risk assets, putting them into kind of safer things. Bonds are continuing to rise at the same time all the indices are green. When you see green indices, green again, a little bit of a pullback, but green over here, and then gold is not really doing anything, and the dollar in general is really not doing much either. It means that the rolling assets out of the risky ones, trying to put them into the safe ones, and skirting through into the new year is what they're doing. So again, just another sign that volume is going to get really, really light this holiday. With all the uncertainties.
I
So,
think there's that, and I think everyone wants to take a break.
mm,
So I would expect things to really slow down going into the end of the year. But in the
yeah.
meantime, there is going to be lots of volatility, which means there's going to be trading opportunity,
hmm
and that's
Well, and again, low volume means higher volatility. It means
right.
it takes less money to move the market up and down. There'll be one headline. And again, the only headline that we have that's really of importance, China is cutting interest rates. Their RRR, it basically is cutting interest rates to provide stability. So it's interesting that everybody else is getting ready to raise, but
Yeah,
yet
and
they are
they're
now
doing something different. Yep.
they're doing the opposite, right? So yeah, and then again, here's that what you talked about. Biden, Putin in a video call on Tuesday will review the process. So they're Zoom calling it up. So if you're using Zoom out there, we're all doing the same thing. Zoom calling away.
All right. With that, any questions for Nadex, please email us customerservice@nadex.com. Questions for Brian. Brian is very accessible. You can email Brian at support@keeptradingsimple.com. Really, the news story today. Uh, Omicron, initial data from Omicron is encouraging that it may not be um, as severe as initially feared. So we're seeing some of those trades unwind. People went into the technology stocks out of the Dow stocks. You're seeing that roll back the other way. And we're also seeing oil. People immediately sold oil thinking there's going to be a dip in demand. And now that dip may or may not happen. We'll have to wait and see what happens as more data from Omicron comes in. And then as the world makes any determinations on travel bans and things like that. So all to be determined. Definitely creating trading opportunity. So with that, Brian and I will catch you again tomorrow morning. Remember, there'll be we have the boot camp tomorrow. Brian is going to be speaking. We got Tom Sosnoff speaking from Tasty Trade. It's going to be an interesting day on day trading. So if you haven't registered for that, please register for it. If you can't attend live by registering, you will get access to the recordings as well as the slide decks. And we will catch you, though, again tomorrow morning. Good luck in the markets, everyone. Thanks for joining.